Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Minding My Mental Health. I am Tenitra Williams, your host for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I want to give people an opportunity to jump on. So while I am waiting for a couple of people to jump on, I'm going to be sharing this broadcast as well. If you are joining, I would like for you to hashtag live. Let me know where you're watching from. And then if you're watching the replay, I'd also like you to hashtag replay again and let me know where you are watching from. I'm going to share this video to a couple of groups that I am a part of. Let's share it. Let me know where you're watching from. Let's see. Okay. So we said this last week, but this is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we want to continue to bring awareness and practical insight to the community of how we can better take care of our mental health. And I talk about mental health. We always know that there is a flip side to that, and people talk about mental illness. I named this Minding My Mental Health because I want to help people to walk in health, right? Not that we are disregarding the illness piece of it, but what we want to do is teach people how to take care of their mental health. And if there is some illnesses, some things that they can do so that they can walk in mental health. So again, thank you guys for joining. Share this video, tag your friends, your family, share this to your story, to your page, if you don't mind. And we're going to get to talking about reclaiming our peace. If you will put that in the comments, I would appreciate that. Just go ahead and type reclaiming my peace, or I'm reclaiming my peace. What is peace? We often hear people talk about protecting my peace or something about their peace, right? But when we're talking about peace, we're talking about having calmness, having a right mindset, a healthy mindset. Peace meaning not having internal warfare with yourself, not having war outside of yourself, but peace meaning that we're able to maintain who we are in a situation and being able to respond the way that we want to respond and not just react out of emotion, right? And so we're talking about how to maintain or walk in our peace today. So again, if you will tag some friends, tag some family members that you know are around. Hello, Mama, how are you? Welcome. So we're talking about the body is we're reclaiming our peace, and we're talking about healing our nervous system. Have you ever walked into a room or a situation and immediately felt your body tense up? If you ever walked into a situation and immediately you felt your body have a reaction to that situation, it could be someone arguing, it could be someone that you have had conflict with in your life, but when you walked into a specific situation, you realize that your body tensed up. If you've ever done that, go ahead and say it's me. Most of us have. We've experienced, or maybe even just walking in and you see a snake or you see an animal. I was walking the other day, and as I was walking, I saw a big dog that was not on the leash. And in fact, it was so big, I thought it was another animal. I didn't realize it was a dog until he turned all the way around and I went, oh, that's a dog. Before the dog saw me, my body tensed up because I didn't see an owner. I didn't see anything between me and this dog except air and opportunity, right? And so your body will begin to respond in certain situations. And it may tense up, or it may get shaky, or it may freeze up or shut down just from walking into that situation. You've ever had those moments, you may begin to think, oh, maybe I'm not at peace. Well, here's really what's happening. What's happening is your nervous system is talking. And today we're going to be talking about learning how your body is not broken. It's just reacting to the situation that just presented itself. With God and with some science, we're going to learn how to retrain our mind to be more calm and more at peace. Okay. So we're talking about how to retrain our brain to be at peace. Now, there's a theory, and I talked about this. Hey, Marlo. I talked about this. Hey, Chandra, welcome. Thanks for tagging. Go ahead and tag and share. I talked about this theory a little bit last week, but this theory is the polyvagal theory, and it basically describes how our body is always going through scanning and deciding if a situation is safe for us or if a situation is dangerous for us, or if we should run, fight, or freeze up in that situation. Your body is actually, your brain is doing that without you consciously thinking about it. You're not consciously thinking, oh, is this safe? Your brain just automatically goes into scan mode, right? And it's based on the idea that your nervous system is almost like a built-in alarm system. And it's always scanning, again, our environment to see, can I connect with someone, or should I connect? Should I be protective of myself? Should I just run away and disappear? The polyvagal theory is constantly, or the vagus nerve is trying to discern or decipher if we are in a safe situation. This happens, again, almost automatically, and it's not that we are consciously thinking about these things. So we're going to talk about the vagus nerve just a little bit. The vagus nerve is what we call the peace pathway. The vagus nerve is, it runs from the brain down to the heart, lungs, stomach, and some other organs. It's connected, however, to the amygdala. And we talked a lot about the amygdala last week. The amygdala is that little part of our brain that is, again, scanning for danger. Are we safe? And it can get hyper vigilant. It can cause us to be hyper vigilant at times. So y'all have to bear with me, because we're going to get to how we calm ourselves, but we have to get some understanding of what's happening before we get into all of that. So the vagus nerve helps to control our breathing, our digestion, our heart rates, and even our sense of safety. It runs, again, from the brain to our gut area. Many of us have heard that the gut is our second brain. A lot of stuff happens down here, and you begin to wonder, why is that? Well, that vagus nerve, which is the thing that helps to regulate the amygdala, that vagus nerve is something that helps us to stay calm, or to sense if we are feeling calm or if we're feeling anxious. When your vagus nerve is calm and strong, you feel clear, you feel connected, you can have compassion for other people, you're able to rest and relax. But when you're dysregulated, or when that nerve is dysregulated, you're irritable, you may avoid people, you may just kind of isolate, you may even have more of that freeze response, which is emotional numbness. You're just there. But God created our body with this built-in alarm system. But you know what? Trauma can cause that alarm system to get out of whack. So it is constantly alarming, right? It's saying everything is dangerous. When trauma happens, our brain starts to be rewired, and it's constantly telling us that there is danger, even when practically we may not see danger. The brain is hard for it to relax again. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, ways that we can calm our bodies down so that we are able to breathe and recognize, hey, this isn't a threat. This is calm. This isn't a threat. This is calm, right? So let's break it down just a little bit more so we can understand. This nerve is called the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is a powerful nerve connecting your brain with your body. It begins in your brain and goes down to the gut. We know that the gut is often called, again, a second brain. It helps to decide if we should fight, if we should shut down, or if we should feel safe. The vagus nerve is connected to the amygdala. We talked a lot about that last time. Stimulating, this is important, stimulating the vagus nerve has been shown to regulate or adjust the amygdala activity and functional connectivity. This suggests that vagal nerve stimulation can help regulate emotional processing by influencing the amygdala. Now, I know that was a lot of nerdy stuff, so we're going to get to being how this applies to your life. Basically, we're going to use a 3-color system, right, to kind of break it down as to our nervous system zones, okay? So we have different nervous system zones. We're going to talk about the red, the blue, and the green. As I describe these, I want you to see which one you stay in the most. Which zone do you live in the most? So the red zone is called the fight or flight zone. That's where you're feeling on edge. You're feeling anxious a lot, overreacting. You feel irritable. You feel like you could snap at any moment. You may snap on your husband, snap on your kids. You almost feel a need that you have to stay busy. You're constantly like, I got to do something, overthinking, a lot of racing thoughts. A lot of that can be in the fight or flight part, right? The body is telling you we have to protect ourselves. That is the red zone. So the red zone, again, is that fight or flight mode. It is prepared. It is operating in overdrive, preparing for the pending doom that it perceives, right? So red zone, fight or flight. You're on edge. You're probably more aggressive, more irritable, that type of thing. The blue zone is the freeze zone. That is where you actually shut down. You may just feel tired a lot. You may just feel numb, which means you're not real high, you're not real low, you're just kind of numb. I don't feel a lot of anything. You may spend hours just scrolling. This is something you see a lot when people are in the freeze zone. They're just scrolling. Their mind isn't really present. They're just kind of aimlessly going through the hours. Isolation. You may not return phone calls or engage with your friends and family. Again, you're just kind of numb to life. You're going through things, but you're not allowing yourself to be very present. And I won't say allowing yourself. You're not feeling like you're very present. The body shuts down before it gets hurt. So it's still a form of protection or a way to protect itself. It just shuts down so that it doesn't experience the pain. Where the fight or flight, the red zone says, I will fight and I'm prepared to protect myself because I feel like something's coming at me. The freeze zone says, I'm just going to shut down so nothing can get me. Okay. So that's the blue zone. Red is the fight or flight. Blue is the freeze, and green is our safe space. Green is our safe space. You feel connected. You feel grounded. You have clear thoughts. When you wake up, you're able to, have purpose for your day, set your intentions, go forth throughout your day, feeling pretty clear-headed. You're able to connect with friends, actually feel calm in your body, taking care of yourself without any guilt or without any shame, enjoying laughter with your friends, connecting with your coworkers. This is the green zone. You feel safe in this space. You feel safe in this space. If you guys are still with me, go ahead and share this video and tag some friends along. So again, I'm asking, which zone do you feel like you live in the most? The red, the blue, or the green? The red, the blue, or the green? Are you in the fight or flight zone the most? And there is no judgment. I don't want you to go, oh, well, if I'm in the red, something's wrong with me. There is no judgment here. If you feel like you are highly functioning or mostly functioning in that red zone, it's okay. We're actually going to talk about some things you can do to help you calm down out of that red zone. If you feel like I'm really kind of stuck over in this blue zone, and that's where I hang out the most, it's no judgment here. So, but I do want you to put in the comments where you feel like you spend most of your time, the red zone, the blue zone, or the green zone. And again, that green zone is feeling safe. Okay. So let's talk about, if you are a person in the red zone, how do we get out of that red zone? Okay. Again, the red zone, you feel anxious. You're always alert, hyper alert, defensive, overwhelmed. I've worked with people before and they were in the red zone. And as we begin to do some of the techniques we're actually going to do today, their body began to calm down. Their mind would tell them it's not safe to calm down. And they would say, oh, this feels weird. This feels awkward, right? And so I have to just remind them, hey, your body has been so used to being on alert, which again, given that many of the people that I've worked with have had extreme trauma, their body was so used to being on alert that calm felt really scary to them. Now, I know that for some people, they may say that doesn't sound right, that calm feels scary. But if your body has been on alert so long, or if you've experienced a lot of trauma, then it makes sense that calmness or peace actually feels a little bit scary, because you say, I'm so vulnerable, I'm exposed. If my guard is down, something may happen to me. So you have to retrain your body to be comfortable in the calm zone. You have to retrain your brain and your body to be comfortable in calm. We say it all the time about relationships. There are people who are so accustomed to poor relationships that when a healthy relationship comes along, they actually will sabotage that healthy relationship. Because they say it feels boring to them, because their body is so accustomed to being on high alert. They're saying, hey, I'm used to a relationship. I have to check his phone and I have to make sure he's not lying, and I have to deal with drama, and I have to deal with her doing this, or I have to deal with her doing this. And so they're so accustomed to that. When someone comes along that they actually can trust, that feels a little scary, or it feels a little boring, because they're not accustomed to that. So that's why we want to teach you how to get out of that red zone, how to stay comfortable in the green zone. Okay, so the goal of this is to slow your body down, help your body to slow down and to feel safe. Are you guys understanding? Let me know. Let me hear from you. Talk back to me in the comment section. So one of the things that you can do is grounding in the present. What does that mean? Say out loud, out of your mouth, I'm here and I'm safe and God is with me. Okay. You can say those statements out loud. I'm here, I'm safe, and God is with me. You can touch things around you. Put your feet on the ground. That it's called grounding, right? It says put your flat feet on the ground. Press your toes into your shoes, or some people actually go outside and they put their feet on the actual ground. Some people do that. Some people say, I don't want to do that. I want my shoes on. That's fine as well. But you allow yourself to feel the present moment. When people are having panic attacks, what they'll often do is they get so caught up in that moment that they're not able to stop and recognize what's happening. And one of the techniques we'll use is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We talked about this last week. But you find 5 things that you can see. Okay? 5, what can I see? I see a ring light in front of me. I see a desk. I see this chair. I see my computer. What is that doing? It's helping you to remember where you are and that you are safe. It is helping you to identify. Then you start to identify things that you can feel and smell, and you engage your senses, right? So one of the things that you can do to get out of the red zone is to engage your senses. Take a moment and just like you can rub your arms softly to get back into the fact that you're safe, right? Another one is called box breathing. I'm going to do it really quickly with you guys today. I talk about this one often. It's 4-4-4 breathing. That's generally what I call it. It's an inhale for the 4 count, holding it for 4 counts, and then it is an exhale on 4 counts. You're going to do that or repeat that about 3 to 4 times. Why? Because that is going to slow your heart rate down and decrease the racing thoughts. Again, why is this important? These things are important because the more calm your body gets accustomed to being, it feels safe to stay in that space. For years, it has been accustomed to being on high alert in the red zone. So we have to, once it goes to the green zone can actually scare it, right? So what we want to do is make sure that we get your body back in alignment in the green zone and practice staying in that green zone so that it says, oh, wait, this is where we're supposed to be. Have you ever had something that at one point felt really weird, but now you do it all the time and it doesn't feel weird anymore? You can eat or drink something. I actually was disgusted by avocados. I thought they were the nastiest thing around. Okay. It was just disgusting. I now eat avocados quite often. Why? Because the one that I kept on doing and I kept eating it until things began to shift in my taste buds and things began to shift. And I was like, oh, this is actually good if I use it this way. I still don't want to just eat a piece of avocado. I'm still not there. But if I put it in my food, it gives it a really nice creamy texture that I can avoid eating the cheese. Where I would put cheese to help with the texture, I'll put an avocado in there, which is a healthier option, right? And so I'm able to actually enjoy something which once was uncomfortable for me. And the thing that I'm enjoying now is better for me. An avocado is better than me eating some processed cheese, right? And so we're learning how to get comfortable in the place that is actually healthy for us. Okay, so we got the box breathing, and we're going to do this I'm going to do this probably 1 or 2 times just so you guys can get the count. Many of you have heard me do this, but just hey, humor me for a moment. So we're going to do an inhale for 4 seconds. We're going to hold it for 4 seconds, and then we're going to exhale for 4 seconds. That's it. Okay. So if you will inhale 2, 3, 4, hold it 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4, hold it 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale 2, 3, 4, hold it 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4. Very good. You can let me know how you feel after that. I always try to tell people, make sure that when you're inhaling through the nose. When you're exhaling out of the mouth. That is a simple way that you can help your body when it is in the red zone to calm down. Another thing, very simple. And the reason I'm giving these types of tools, there are may be more complex. I'm trying to give very simple tools so that it's not something that you feel like it's overwhelming for you to remember. These are things that you can do. Some of the things you may already do. I want you to be intentional to know that this is what helps to help you when you start to feel like your brain is trying to go back to the red zone. Okay. This one is just a soothing touch. It is simply putting your hand on your heart, taking a deep breath in. Why? It's remember, right? That just that alone gives you a sense of relaxation, right? Gently rubbing your arms like this, right? This is just soothing behavior to remind yourself we're here, we're safe, and God is with us. Okay. Another thing is moving your body. Moving your body. This will help you get out of the red zone. Now, because you're already anxious or on high alert, you don't want to move your body in a way that's like just frantic. Moving your body in a calm, rhythmic way. A slow walk outside can help. Stretching, doing like just having a nice dance song that you like and just kind of swaying to that can kind of help calm your body. Your body will respond to the rhythmic nature of that and to help soothe your nervous system. Like, we're okay. Finding a song that actually matches something that gives you a sense of safety. So if you have a song that always makes you feel really good, especially if you're a believer and you have a song that says God's got me, or I'm safe in his arms, or any of those types of things, just kind of swaying and rocking to those things can help you to calm down. And then the other one, if you hear, speak safety over yourself. God fights my battles. I don't have to. I'm safe here, or it's safe for me to slow down. It's safe for me to laugh. It's safe for me to love. It's safe for me to heal. All of those things are re-triggering your brain. Hey, this is a safe moment. This is a safe time for me. Okay. If you spend most of your time in the blue zone, do I have anybody here that spends most of their time in the blue zone? The blue zone is where you feel disconnected. Kind of like you're just going through the motions. You're tired, kind of lethargic. Sometimes you feel like giving up. You feel really numb. Marlo said these techniques absolutely work. I use them with my elderly mom who's totally blind and very anxious. Marlo is also a clinician. And so thank you, Marlo. But again, these are things that'll help you get out of that really high anxiety zone, right? Now let's look at the blue zone. If you feel disconnected, again, we said you can sit and kind of just rock back and forth. Not an anxious rock, not this anxiety rock, but just a calm, like you're singing a song. I don't know if you remember, if you guys ever had a big mama that would rock with you, and she'd be singing or something. It was just soothing, almost like you're on a boat and you're just rocking and you're enjoying the peace of being in Big Mama's arms. So just rocking them that way can help you. Okay. The other thing, which is a little less common, but it actually helps a lot to help you to get back to where you are, splashing cold water on your face or running cool water over your hands. Splashing cool water on your face or running cool water over your hands. It helps to wake up your nervous system gently. Okay. Your nervous system's like, oh, wait, what's happening? It's not a startle thing. We're not saying jump into a ice bath. We're talking cool water, just kind of running that over your hands to help remind you, hey, we're here. It's okay to be here. It's okay to be present. Okay. Now, I love this one. I love this technique. And it says, say your name plus the truth. I am a believer, so I believe that so many of us, because of trauma, we have believed things that are not true, or at least they're no longer true. And so we have to say our name and say the truth with it. So we're combining our identity with the truth. So my name is Tenitria. I am in my body. I am safe, and God is with me. What that is remind, who am I? I am Tenitria. I am here in my body, and that's safe for me, and God is with me. It reminds your mind and your body that you're still present. and you're not alone. This next one I like a lot for the to get out of the blue zone, because it goes along with what I just naturally believe, that we are not meant to do life alone. This one is connection. Call somebody, text somebody, reach out. The blue zone does keeps people there for so long because we often live in isolation in this zone. So being able to just call somebody and say, "Hey, I'm kind of feeling kind of numb. Talk to me. Talk, let's connect, right?" And you want it to be somebody that is um, trustworthy, someone that you feel safe with. You don't want to call someone who is also um, triggering for you. You want to call somebody that is calming for you, that you know they have your best interests at heart. But that connection can be very, very powerful. Hearing their voice to reassure you, speaking to them, making you feel like you're not alone, you're here, it's okay for you to be here, it's okay for you to take up space. And the other thing is, I'm a huge proponent for gratitude. You can use what we call gratitude activation, listing things that you're grateful for. What does that do? Help to reconnect you to your life and the things that you have that you're thankful for. Gratitude begins with our open mind, so our bodies have to then reconnect to being here, and it then starts to actively look for things that we're grateful for. Because remember, this is the blue zone, which is where you shut down and you stop seeing the beauty in things. You kind of go numb. You don't appreciate all of those things, but you stop and you actively go, you know what? I'm really thankful that my children are healthy and I'm not in a hospital worried about them. They're at school, they're learning, they're doing well. That is something for me to be grateful for, right? Think about that. Think about that for a minute. When you start to think about that, your body starts to kind of relax. Man, I am really grateful that I have a house that is safe for me. I don't have to worry about this or that. I am thankful for that. I'm thankful that I get to walk outside without fear of danger in my neighborhood. That is calming for me. I walk almost every day. It is a calming fact just to know that I can walk outside every day and know that I am safe. These are things that can help you to get out of that blue zone, which is your freeze or your shutdown mode. Okay. Now, we don't have to get out of the green zone, because the green zone is what? That's where we want to be. It's that safe zone. Whatever zone you're in, you can always say what they call the breath prayer, which is, again, inhale, you say, "Jesus, you are my peace." When you exhale, you say, "I trust you." So it is just simply, again, you're integrating your body, your speech, your mindset all together. Inhale, "Jesus is my peace," and exhaling, "and I trust him." Gratitude is a grabber. Absolutely it is. Now, why does this stuff, I'm talking specifically to my audience, and my audience typically is made up of Black women. So why do you think it hits us so hard? I think, first of all, you have to think about individual situations. All of us probably have experienced something in our lives that we would be able to identify as traumatic. It could be the death of a loved one. It could be a natural disaster. I live in Central Arkansas. They have a lot of storms in Central Arkansas. So it could be a natural disaster. It could be an automobile activity. It could be assault. Something has happened to you. You may have witnessed some kind of aggressive, violent situation. So a lot of people have things in their life that they could identify as traumatic. And so, again, we talked earlier and last week about how trauma rewires our brain, but also, not only are we dealing with the individual things as Black women or as Black people in general, there is also this overlying truth that there is a lot of racism in our world. And so we've had to deal with microaggressions, possibly at work, dealing with things. Heck, now this current administration, we're seeing a lot of things that you go, that's not good for people of color. That's not good for a minority group. That law is not designed to help us. That law is designed to hurt in some way, right? So you have the individual trauma, and then you have this lived more societal macro kind of traumatic life thing, right? And so it's really important that we not just go, well, we just gonna live a life in the red zone because there's so much happening. We have to say, no, I'm not going to give up my peace just because life has been lifing. I'm going to go in and I'm still going to maintain my peace, because peace is an internal thing, right? So you may have walked into a meeting and you look around and you were the only Black person in the meeting. You may have had to be the strong person in your family and felt like you couldn't ever just say, hey, I need a break, all of these things, right? But you're not weak. You're not weak. You're just sometimes tired, and you need to give your system a reset. Okay. So I'm going to go over these zones real quick. And I know we've had a couple more people. So let me know which zone you feel like you stay in the most. The red zone, you're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling angry. You're feeling anxious a lot. Yes. Post-traumatic slave syndrome. Absolutely. And it's a thing. Overwhelmed, angry, anxious, on edge. Then you have your blue zone. You're hopeless. You're kind of detached. You're numb almost. And then your green zone, calm, confident, and trusting. Where do you feel like you spend your time the most? If you are in the red zone, here are some things that you will notice about yourself. The red zone, you spend a lot of time with your teeth clenched. You may have your hands are tight a lot. You have a lot of tension in your neck or in your back. You're holding tension actively in your face. You may even be arguing quite a bit with people in that red zone. And you're thinking you want to fix everything. If you're in that blue zone, you're tired. You have lower energy. You're not really caring very much. You just want the kids to be quiet, leave you alone, get away from you. And you're kind of thinking like, what's the point? Because it's always going to be this way. And then the green zone, you're relaxed. You're able to breathe deeply. You're able to get good sleep. And you're sure that God has got you. You're able to have peace in your mind. So let's talk about some things. Okay, so I have a lot of people that's saying mostly green, but there's some green and some blue. If you are in that blue zone, again, remembering to do things that get you back to a place of, this is where I am, like reminding yourself that you are safe and it's safe for you to be there and God is with you. In that blue zone of, you may have to go and do something that really yesterday I watched a video and it was the silliest video, but I laughed like super hard at this video. I actually posted it and said, this is what I do if I need a quick mood shift. And it was this video of this girl. You can even go to my page and watch the video. She's doing an audition, and it is just an unexpected way that she auditions. And I was laughing hard. I watched that video probably 6 or 7 times in a row. And then I went back to it several times throughout the day. Why? Because that laughter allowed me to feel very present. And I appreciated that lady. I should have sent her a seed. I don't know her, random person off the internet. But it was really, really good for me to just be able to laugh hard. Right. And so you have to find these things that allow you to get back into that moment of, that was what I needed. And that's exactly what I said after I laughed at that. I said, "Ooh, I needed that laugh." Allow yourself to laugh. Right. And we're going to talk a little bit about that a little later. So that we have some things in our culture as Black women that already help us, that we don't recognize sometimes the beauty or the strength in these things. And so I want to point them out. And so you can go, I can lean into this a little bit more. This is something that I can appreciate and lean into. So if you are at church and there's like, you in church, we're always turn and tell your neighbor so-and-so, or, we have the call and response. God is good all the time. What does that do? We all are saying the same thing. We're all connecting. So it builds a sense of connectivity. It builds a sense of safety. We're all here. We all know what we're saying and doing. That is actually something that helps us to regulate ourselves, to feel safe. This feels safe when somebody shouts out God is good and 5 other people yell all the time. That means, hey, we are all together. I can lean on my sister. I can lean on my brother. It is a sense of unity there. We have the beauty shop, going in and talking and hearing people share their victories or share their struggles. It can give a sense of community, right? So you have things in your life already that you may not recognize can be sources of strength for you. Okay. So it's important that we remember we're not out here without any hope. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to create some daily practices. Daily practices. So in the morning, doing some slow, deep breaths and reminding yourself that God is with you. But at some point throughout your day, asking yourself, which zone am I in? Which zone am I in? Am I in the red zone? Am I walking around snapping on everybody? Or am I in the blue zone? I just don't really care. I'm kind of disconnected. Or am I in the green zone? And if I'm in the green zone, I'm going to show some gratitude. Just even if it's just an internal gratitude, I'm thankful that I have peace in this moment. Hey, there have been times when I didn't have that peace. I'm very thankful for that peace. If you're in the blue zone, you can give gratitude an opportunity as well. I'm thankful that I know I don't have to stay in this blue zone. I can remind myself that it's okay. I can get connected back to myself, run some cool water over my hands, take some slow, deep breaths, and go back out here and face this world a little more prepared or organized, right? And then in the evenings, write something that made you feel safe throughout your day. What was something that happened to you that made you feel safe? This is what I'm going to say. I don't think we ask for what we need enough as women, particularly Black women. And if you have gone into a work environment where it was high stress, or if you're somewhere, sometimes you may need a hug. And sometimes we don't want to walk up to our sister, our husband, our whoever and say, you know what? I need a hug. But if you need that, that is okay to do. That is okay. Even your kids, you may walk up and say, come give mommy a hug. Give mommy a hug. Why? Because that connection begins to release the oxytocin in our brain and our body to help us what? To feel grounded, to feel safe. Don't shy away from community. Another thing you can do is, again, stretching or walking. Asking yourself again, what zone am I in? Text or call someone. We talked about that connection. And then worshiping, writing in your journal. Any of these things are good things to do in the evening time. It is important that we begin to rewrite the narrative. Healing means recognizing that our reactions are not crazy. How many times have you thought, I'm crazy or she's crazy? And the reality is it was our brain being on high alert that had us acting outside of maybe what we wanted to do, but it was our brain's best attempt at being safe. It was our brain's best attempt at keeping us safe. Now we look back and we can say, oh, well, that was so much. That was a quote unquote overreaction. But your brain was simply saying, hey, we don't ever want to get hurt again. So we'll do whatever it takes not to get hurt again. You see it all the time. People will act out doing things. You see, especially if you work with children, children will act out at school when things are going on at home. They will act out or they will shut down. They may come in and they don't do any work. And people begin to say, oh, they're just defiant. Oh, they're just this. They're just that. And they throw all of these labels on people when in reality, their brain is literally trying to keep them safe. Likewise with adults. You go to work and you go, I don't feel any motivation. I don't know what's going on. I'm a bad person. I'm lazy. I can't tell you how many times people have sessions and they're saying, I just got to stop being so lazy. And when we break it down, go, oh, baby girl, you're not lazy. You're not lazy. What's happening here? Your brain has put you in a numb space where the energy is gone. And then people just throwing diagnoses and things on them. Hey, you're this, you're that. And so people can begin to internalize those diagnoses and say, I'm just depressed. I'm just lazy. I'm just this way. I'm just anxious all the time. Well, it makes sense if you're anxious, if you were abused by 3 people before the age of 10 years old, and then you got into an abusive relationship. And then your grandmother, who was the only safe place for you, passed away when you were 12. That makes sense that you may be walking around with a lot of high anxiety, right? And so you have to give yourself permission to say, hey, my body was doing what it was designed to do, which was to keep me safe. I now have tools, with science has taught us that we can have tools to help us self-regulate so that we can take our bodies from the red zone to the green zone, or from the blue zone to the green zone. Do you guys have any questions? Let me know if you have questions or comments about anything we're talking about. So we're going to do a healing visualization. And I know people may be at different places and may not be able to close your eyes and do it, but if you can, I'd like you to do this with me. Okay, we're going to do a healing visualization. We're actually going to do this one with God. You can do this with different scenarios, but we're going to do this one with God. So I want you to close your eyes and just take 1 or 2 slow, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. I want you to picture yourself in a place that you find relaxing. So that may be on the beach, it may be like a park bench, it may be in a cabin or by, beside a river or a small lake. But you picture yourself in a place that you find very relaxing. And God walks up to you and he says, I'm here with you. He allows you to sit on his lap and rest. He says, you can give me all of your stress, all of the pressure that you felt from today. Now notice what's happening inside your body as you've given those things over to God. Notice how you're breathing. Notice how you feel. God begins to speak some words to you and he says, I'm here with you. You are not alone. You're safe now. You can relax. He tells you to breathe and he's holding you. Pay attention to what's happening inside your body. Okay. If you will open your eyes, put in the comments how your body feels or felt during that visualization. I know you guys are a little bit behind me, so I'll wait for a few comments. What does that do? When we do visualization, it helps to create that sense of safety, and it reminds our bodies that it's safe to be calm. It reminds our bodies that it's safe to be calm. Good, you feel calm, relaxed. This is good. So we're going to say this declaration and prayer out loud. I see a lot of people saying calm or relaxed. Good, good. I'm glad you guys did that with me. Thank you. You can do that at any time. You can stop and you can picture yourself being with God and allowing yourself to rest. And for some people, it's easier to use visualization because they're kind of a visual learner. So learning what your style is. Marlo says she became tearful. Yeah, because sometimes our body is so worked up that when we actually have that release, tears begin to flow because our bodies are saying, whew, it's safe for us to release. It's safe enough to release. I've shared this story before, but my little cousin, I won't say his name, but he's a grown up now and he has children of his own. But when he was in kindergarten, I think it was his first day of kindergarten, he actually had to ride the bus home. It may not have been the first day, but either way, he missed the bus when he was in kindergarten. He was supposed to ride the bus, and he missed it. And so it so happened that the deacon of his church was actually someone that worked at the school as well. And he saw him kind of standing there and he's like, hey, where are you supposed to be? And they talked or whatever. Anyways, the deacon ended up bringing him to my mom's house, which is where he was supposed to come. And when he got into the house, he waved and he told the deacon, thank you so much. Bye-bye. He was just a big boy and he was so brave. And when we closed the door, he looked up at my mama and he said, I ain't saying I was so scared. And he just broke down and started crying. That is what happens with us. Sometimes we're going and we're going and we're going and we're going and we feel like we have to keep it together. I can't break down right now. I have to be a big girl. I have to keep it together. I can't mess up. I have to get it perfect. I have the weight of the world on my shoulders and we're going and we're going and we're going. And then when we allow ourselves to sit with God, we allow ourselves to calm down, get out of that red zone, out of that blue zone, and sit with God and feel the peace of God. Sometimes tears flow because we go, I actually don't have to keep going. It's safe for me to cry. It's safe for me to feel. It's safe for me to heal. It's safe for me to be here. So we're going to make this declaration and I'm going to make some announcements and get out of here. So this closing declaration and prayer, I want you to say out loud, God gave me a strong body. My mind works properly. God has healed my brain. I no longer live in survival mode. Say that one again. I no longer live in survival mode. It is safe for me to rest. My nervous system is healing. My peace is secure. And rest is from the Lord. Let's say that one again. My nervous system is healing. My peace is secure. And rest is from the Lord. So we're going to close with this prayer. Lord, thank you for the body that you gave me and the brain that you gave me. Thank you that it is working properly. It is not working from overdrive, but it is working to keep me safe. And it recognizes when there is real danger and when there is perceived danger. I don't have to fight for everything. Teach me, Lord, how to live in peace, deep breaths, and allow me to give you my weight. I will allow you to carry my weight. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. I hope this helped you guys. It is very, very important that we learn that a lot of our reactions are not character flaws. They are our body's way of keeping us safe. And I said this ever since I've been a counselor, probably. We're always doing the things. Most people are doing their best. Most people are doing the best that they can. And so what we want to do is try to empower people with tools and skills so that their best that they can is improved because they have more skills and they have more wisdom and insight. So they're not beating themselves up for the way they've reacted because they were doing the best they could at that time. Your brain was trying to keep you safe because that's all the brain knew how to do. But now we're teaching the brain how to rewire, how to create new pathways, right? Now, again, I do have a couple announcements. If you are a part of the Celebrating You group, I know a lot of you are. I don't know if everybody is, but I know a lot of you are. We are switching from the daily affirmations in the group to coming straight to your email. If you have not signed up for that, you can shoot me an email. I can send you the link, or you can go on my page. I can but basically it's $1.99 per month. You get an affirmation every morning. And that affirmation allows you, again, you'll have your daily affirmation, but it also asks you a question about what is Holy Spirit speaking to you about this affirmation. And it asks ways for you to confirm that in your heart throughout your day. And so I want you guys, if you have not signed up for that, make sure you sign up for your daily affirmations. Also, if you know of someone who is needing some coaching or counseling, let me know. You can pass my information to them. I do have some openings. I accept insurance in Arkansas and only in Arkansas, but I can see clients for counseling in Georgia and in Arkansas. Marlo, thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much. It's always good to have another clinician on board to kind of, you know, guys, again, let me know if you have any comments or questions. If you are a single woman and you are ready to open your heart for love, guess what? We got another wholeness path coming around. The wholeness path is going to start, the next cohort is going to start in July. This cohort is going to be ending in June. We are doing some good work over there. Listen, and all of this work that we're doing today, we're learning how to do that there, because guess what? Who you are shows up in your relationships. And so if you're in the red zone all the time, it's going to show up when you're in relationships or trying to be in relationships. Or if you're in the blue zone, that's going to show up in how you show up or potentially talking with someone that may you may be interested in. So if you say, hey, I want to be in a place where I'm ready to heal my heart, I'm ready to be open for love again, let me know so you can sign up for the next Wholeness Path cohort, again, which will begin in July. We're wrapping this one up. So those are my announcements. Sign up for the daily affirmations. If you have someone in your life that you know they could use some counseling or some mindset coaching, send them my way. And if you want to be a part of the Wholeness Path, yes, we have people from all different ages, from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We have range when we're talking about the Wholeness Path. We've even had some younger than that in the class. So again, make sure if there's any of that stuff that you have a question about, or even if there is something we talked about today that you have a question about, let me know. I'd be happy to answer that either on the next live or in the inbox, depending on how deep it is. If it's a deep question, we may turn it into a whole episode so that we can talk through some things. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you join me back here next Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Every Thursday, we're here minding my mental health, not just this month, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, but we're always here bringing awareness and understanding so that the people of God can live free and walk in peace. I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.